Worship. Good morning. Thank you for saying that, Paul. Let's stand together. The words will be on the screen in front of you. Now, here's the thing. As is typical for me, I'm losing my voice again. But it's always a good reminder. It's not really about you listening to me sing, thank God, or us sing. It's about you entering in and joining your voice in worship. These are great songs. When we were practicing them earlier, I don't know if you know, but like a nor'easter blew through here about 8 o'clock this morning. And these are all about storms, but now the storm is calm. But who knows, the storm may start up again. But either way, God is our anchor. God is our cornerstone. Let's sing together.
On nothing less.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, your perfect love is casting out fear. Sing, 'cause I can't.
Even when I'm caught in the middle of the storms of this life, I won't go back. I know you are near. I will fear no evil, for my God is with me.
And if my God is with me, whom then shall I fear? Whom then shall I fear? Oh no, never let go through the calm, through the storm. Oh no, never let go every high and every low. Oh no, never let go. Lord, you never let go of me. Even though I walk through the valley
Of the shadow of death, your perfect love is casting out fear. Even when I'm caught in the middle of the storms of this life, I know you are near. I will fear no evil,
for my God is with me. And if my God is with me, whom then shall I fear? Whom then shall I fear? Oh no, never let go through the calm, through the storm. Oh no, never let go every high and every low. Oh no, never let go. Lord, you never let go of me. Yes, I can see a light that is coming for the heart that holds on. There will be an end to these troubles, but until that day comes, still I will praise you. Still I will praise you. Yes, I can see a light that is coming for the heart that holds on. There will be an end to these troubles, but until that day comes, still I will praise you. Still I will praise you. Oh no, never let go every high, every storm. Oh no, never let go every high and every low. Oh no, you never let go. Lord, you never let go of me. Oh no, you never let go through the calm and through the storm. Oh no, you never let go every high and every low. Oh no, you never let go. Lord, you never let go of me. Please remain standing while Reed leads us in the call to worship.
Good morning. Please join me in the call to worship, or opening call to worship. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He is with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. When Jesus spoke to the people, he said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in the darkness, but will have the light of life. Please join me in the opening prayer. O gracious and holy God, give us diligence to seek you, wisdom to perceive you, and patience to wait for you. Grant us, O God, a mind to meditate on you, eyes to behold you, ears to listen for your word, a heart to love you, and a life to proclaim you. Through the power of the Spirit of Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Please take a moment to greet one another, and since you have name tags on, greet one another by name. Good morning. Jim, can you give me a little volume boost? Number 7. How's that? There you go. I want you good people to be able to hear me. Good morning and welcome. Again, nice to have you all here today. And welcome to those of you who may be visiting with us. Always nice to have visitors. If you're looking for a place to call church home, we would love to have you join us here. Many things going on as we start off this new year. Note the appropriate winter. Although it's not winter today, is it? What's going on? It's nice and warm today, but note the blue insert and the things going on. A couple opportunities for us to reach out and help others. I saw a news story yesterday. I didn't get all the details, but apparently some kind of new effects go into, new policies go into effect this year in the way the government distributes food to the poor. So they're expecting food pantries to, and it's going to be a little more restrictive, so they're expecting food pantries to need food all the more. So let that be your incentive. Already we live in a day and age, some of you wouldn't believe it, where people need food and food pantries are drawn on more than ever. So let's bring in that food. As Pastor Josh and I have said, let's see if we can break those tables downstairs. They're not anywhere near breaking yet. So come on, let's bring in that food to stock the food pantry. This is our month. Also, getting ready, first Sunday, first week in February, mustard seed sign-ups going on. Let me mention this to you, a couple of resources downstairs we have. I put out a couple copies of these books because they were really helpful to me last year, and they were gone, so there's a few more. Your Future Self Will Thank You. Secrets to Self-Control from the Bible and Brain Science. This guy begins off lamenting the fact that he never keeps his New Year's resolutions, and he's writing this book for himself and for all of us, including me, to talk about how habits we can form to help us accomplish some of these disciplines we want to have in our life. Great book. And for me, and I'll encourage, a lot of you drive and commute a lot. This book, like most of the books I give you, are available on audio and Audible. Listen to it while you drive to work. That's how I read most of my books. Another resource that's available for you downstairs, we are doing a journey through the letters of John. And downstairs is a study guide, a John MacArthur study guide on the letters of John, along with this little insert that has just the text of the Bible, and on the back is the schedule. So I will be preaching on a portion of the letters, one each Sunday. You can see the schedule. And our Wednesday groups will be discussing, using the study guide and just ourselves and the Holy Spirit we trust, the text that I preached on that Sunday. So let me ask you this question. If you'd like to come on Wednesday, but you haven't looked at the study guide or done any homework, can you come? Yes, you can come. You don't have to do any homework. You don't even need to remember what we're doing. If you want to come on Wednesday mornings, or I get it, sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, what are we doing now? If you just want to come, please come. A big part of our Wednesday groups are fellowship. Come to the morning Bible study. Come to the evening group at our home. You are welcome anytime. So take advantage of this. There's a suggested donation of $5, but take one now and pay one, and if you can, they're there. So one of the things we usually do on this Sunday, and we were planning to do, is our Junior Disciples program, where kids get their first Bible and go through a study with me and do First Communion. Unfortunately, we've got a little gap right now, and we only had really one second grader who was schedule-wise and able to do it. So we're going to put off Junior Disciples this year, and Connor will lump you in to the group next year, and perhaps others as well. So no Junior Disciples this year, sad, but we will do it again. And for adults, we have discipleship groups for you. I know we've rolled them out before, but give your attention to this little video on the screen.
I was involved in a discipleship group a couple of years ago, and it was really enjoyable because I got a chance to really get to know two women in the church that I didn't know very well.
Really, my relationship with those two men that I had a discipleship group with, and my relationship with God, it just...
We really became like a brotherhood for quite a long time. I had actually multiple groups over the years that I spent time with.
It was a good thing to sort of look at the foundations of my faith again through the lens of other people.
It expanded what you were trying to learn to a greater power.
Really the first time I actually studied study guide, as it were. And so that was really cool.
I grew in my relationship with God. I grew in my relationship with fellow Christians in the group, and it was awesome.
I learned a lot from the lessons. I was shocked at some of the stuff I learned. I can't tell you exactly what it was, but it really put a lot more depth in my spirituality, I believe, than I had before.
I got to know a couple of guys better than I did before, and we've remained friends. But more importantly, I think you come to church and you're like, wow, what a great sermon, I feel good, the music, and then we get back out in the culture that beats us down with the things that pull us away from God, and we have to find a way to plug into our faith every day, and it's hard. I struggle with that constantly, but discipleship group was one of a lot of different ways that we can do that.
It was a scheduled thing. It was scheduled time with God and friends. Like, I had to take time for God and for friends because, you know, things get busy.
Well, certainly we all felt busy. In fact, every time I asked somebody to join, once I went through my first one and I started my own, people were a little bit hesitant, but I think you could say that every one of them was happy that they made the time, they carved up the time for it.
In one sentence, it is the most meaningful thing you will do for yourself that you'll be thankful you did.
Is that one sentence?
I don't know.
It's kind of long.
You need your bucket filled, and discipleship groups are a really good place to get your bucket filled.
Do it. Just do it.
I'd say join, give it a try, because I think it'll be kind of contagious.
So many people in our church have been in discipleship groups, many haven't, but it's a good opportunity, as you saw up there. My wife, Kathy, wave your hand, Kathy, those who don't know. We'll have a table downstairs or be in coffee hour. If you would like to be in a discipleship group, there are groups of 3, and the beauty of 3 is you can meet anytime. Like they said, your schedule's busy. We've had groups meet in the middle of the day, Sunday afternoons, evening. We had one group one time that met at like 6 a.m. before work. 3 guys got together here. So the beauty, you can get your group together, you can meet on your schedule, and just listen to those testimonies. And some of those people that were up there or here today, ask them. They are really life-changing things. We encourage you to be a part. So you can see Kathy. Yeah. Now, we have an opportunity for our youth, and Pastor Josh is going to tell you a little bit about it.
Do you want the video first?
What's that?
Am I on the video first?
Yes, sir.
So this summer, we are thrilled to announce our official Summer 2020 high school missions trip to Camp Barnabas, a camp that enables and caters to kids with developmental disabilities, kids with physical disabilities, and gives them an incredible summer. Our teens are going to be involved in that. And I don't know if you saw from the video, but those kids who are so often labeled by their disabilities, who are so often underscored by those things they can't help, when they come to camp, the first thing that happens is they are celebrated by name. And I can't think of a better foretaste of the kingdom of heaven than having those kids accepted in full, cared about in earnest by our teens who will be serving as missionaries at camp this summer. We are absolutely thrilled, and we will have more information next Sunday, January 19th. Starting at noontime, we're going to have an informal meeting in the lounge to just talk about this ministry, to talk about what God will have in store. We've been praying a lot over this, friends, and we couldn't be more excited. So thank you so much.
So Josh, before you sit down and put that away,